freedom, love, and peace. What is freedom? What is love? And what is peace? Countless people have been martyred while seeking freedom and peace in faith. Since I was a child, I, the promised shepherd, have looked up to the sky, prayed to God, and believed in Him. I think this is an innate quality. When my grandfather raised us, his grandsons, he said, "Because the God of heaven blesses us, people, animals, and plants live." So I believed those words. I had a deep desire to know more about the history, prophecies, and reality of the Bible. I felt resentful, thinking, if God exists, even though we are sinners, why can't we see Him when we so desperately want to know Him? Looking at the history of the Bible, even if it's because of human sin, how can children born today be said to have committed that sin? However, I thought this had a certain meaning. I believe that nature is innate. However, as we grow up, common sense, thoughts, and ideologies are formed through history, learning, and education. War arises because of differences in thoughts and ideologies. No one born into this world would want to fight and die. So why fight to the death? To end war and bring peace to the world, I traveled the globe 32 times, meeting with current and former presidents, Supreme Court Chief Justices, National Assembly speakers, and university presidents. I became friends with them, and made a pledge to achieve global peace together, leaving an eternal legacy for future generations. The photo shows me meeting them, making this promise, and signing it. These photos will forever serve as a valuable lesson for global peace. I went to Mindanao, Philippines, where approximately 120,000 people died in a 40-year armed conflict. I gathered leaders of 2 religions, called for an end to global war, and received their signatures on a peace agreement. This was a civilian peace agreement, resolved peacefully and without force. To commemorate this peace agreement, the country erected a peace monument. Monuments commemorating my peace achievements are also erected in the yard of the Peace Training Center in Gaziangri, Chungpungmayan, Gapunggan. Jesus, who fulfilled the Old Testament, commanded us to love our neighbors as ourselves, preached peace, and took upon Himself the sins of the world. He promised to return. I circled the globe 32 times, preaching love and peace. That's why peace monuments were erected in each country. Because of the wars started by adults, young students and youth, who had never even seen the light of day, were killed. They are the young people, who starved to death on the battlefields and were shot to death. Ask the young people, who died fighting and lie in graveyards, do they think war is worth sacrificing their youth? Do we still have to fight? Why do we fight? Isn't it for power? What is politics? Does politics kill people, or save them? And what is love? Revelation chapters 6, 7, and 21 record the disappearance of the first heaven and the first earth, and the creation of a new heaven and a new earth. It is said that those who add to, or subtract from this book of Revelation will not be able to enter heaven, and will be cursed. Disaster. Revelation 22:18-19. Pastors, Protestants, and those who persecute Shincheonji, haven't you added to or subtracted from the book of Revelation? Shincheonji, persecuted by Protestants, is well versed in the book of Revelation. Just as the shepherds of Jerusalem at the time of Jesus' first coming called him a heretic and a devil without fully understanding the meaning of the Old Testament, Protestants are now persecuting Shincheonji without fully understanding the meaning of the New Testament's book of Revelation. So, to determine who is true and who is false, I proposed a public Bible test based on the New Testament book of Revelation, but not a single person responded. He said that if you add to or subtract from Revelation, you will not be able to enter heaven and will be cursed. Shincheonji has mastered Revelation, so they will enter heaven, while Protestantism, with its doctors of theology, pastors, evangelists, teachers, and church members, has all added to or subtracted from Revelation, so they will not be able to enter heaven and will be cursed. Who are these people qualified to call anyone a heretic? Heaven is a paradise overflowing with freedom, love, and peace. Let us all master revelation and enter heaven. Amen. I believe.